What's up, guys? It's Biff. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Incorrect Reviewer. Season 1, Season Uno. We're wrapping up the season, guys. We're about to end Season 1. So hope you guys did enjoy Season 1 and enjoyed the video so far. Biff's had a good time. Hope you guys have had a good time as well. Today we're going to be talking about another Christmas movie. Haven't really talked about that many, but today we're going to be talking about the movie Surviving Christmas with Ben Affleck, James Gandolfini, Christina Applegate, and Catherine O'Hara from 2004 from DreamWorks. Directed by Mike Mitchell, screenplay by Deborah Kaplan, Harry Elfont, Jeffrey Ventimiglia, and Josh Sternin. It says it's madness, mischief, and mayhem when rich executive Drew Latham, Ben Affleck, decides to rent himself a family for the holidays. Tired of spending Christmas alone, Drew makes the Valcos, James Gandolfini, Christina Applegate, and Catherine O'Hara an offer they should have refused. Now their annoying guests and his outrageous demands are turning their Noel into a nightmare in this hilarious slapstick comedy that puts the fun in family's dysfunction. Rated PG-13 for sexual content, language, and a brief drug reference. From DreamWorks Pictures, it's an hour and 31 minutes. Surviving Christmas, guys, was one of those movies that was not a critical success. It was not a theatrical success. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. It's not a great Christmas movie. It's not as good as like Christmas Vacation or Scrooged or a lot of those. But it's still a pretty good movie. It's got a lot of good moments. And it captures the the holiday season and stuff fairly well. Director Mike Mitchell is was born in Oklahoma City, which is a fun fact because Matt is from Oklahoma. So I thought that was a kind of a cool fact. Anyway, Drew Latham kind of lives a lonely life. He's kind of a playboy. He makes good money, but he doesn't really have anybody to spend the holidays with. And the film starts out with basically him getting dumped around Christmas time. Not on Christmas, but around Christmas time. And so he sees his old childhood home and decides, hey, I want to rent my childhood home. I'm going to rent out my childhood home. Just one problem. There's a family that already lives there. So Drew shows up and he says, hey, I want to rent you guys out for the holidays. You guys are going to be my family for the holiday season. My parents aren't around. So you guys are going to be my substitute family, basically, is what it is. And there's a lot of kind of funny moments and stuff like that as kind of Drew assimilates himself with this new family. But of course, there's a catch. He rents him out for the holidays for a sizable cash allowance to give the family. And as it turns out, this family has skeletons of their own. The wife and husband aren't really getting along. Catherine O'Hara and James Gandolfini are kind of limping by. Their marriage is kind of on the rocks. And they're not doing that good. And the son's kind of in his own little world. He basically looks at porn all day like a teenager. Stays up in his room and is on his computer and doesn't really like to interact with the family. Their daughter comes home for the holidays, played by Christina Applegate. She comes home for the holidays and is not too happy with the situation, to say the least. But she eventually warms up to Drew after a while. They kind of have some interactions and they get along eventually. And the Valcos, they kind of warm up to Drew as well, although it takes them a good half of the movie in order for them to kind of do it. But there's some kind of funny moments. In particular, James Gandolfini is funny as the father of the household who is trying to hold this whole thing together. He basically just wants the money, but he doesn't really like having Drew there. Him and Drew kind of clash a lot of the time. And they don't really get along real well because Drew's constant demands of the way he wants the holiday to be and stuff like that kind of grates on the Valco's nerves. Plus, he's kind of eating all the food around the house, and it's kind of pissing James Gandolfini's character off after a while. But there's enough good and kind of surprising moments to kind of keep your interest throughout the film. Like I said, it's not a great holiday film, guys, but it's got enough good funny scenes and stuff like that to keep your interest. I'm not a giant Ben Affleck fan, but I thought he was funny in this one. This is one of those, like I said, that didn't do real well theatrically, but I thought was pretty good overall. Christina Applegate has a good role in the film, and there's a lot of kind of funny moments and stuff like that as the Valcos kind of warm up to Drew over a while. Although it kind of takes them, like I said, it kind of takes them a while to do it. Although it kind of takes him a while to do it. Ben Affleck is good in the lead as Drew. He's a little kind of manic in certain scenes, but he's not too over the top that you don't like his character. I mean, he's a little wacky in some parts, like he kind of overplays some of the scenes in it, but not too much as to where it'll kind of put you off of his character. You'll still kind of like the movie and that kind of thing, and you know it kind of he gives it a good amount of energy. Catherine O'Hara kind of has a funny role as the wife who is kind of feeling unappreciated and stuff like that, and she doesn't feel sexy anymore. So Drew kind of does a nice thing and sets her up to go on a photo shoot. Spoiler alert, there'll be a couple spoilers. And Drew kind of tries to bond with certain members of the family. Brian, the what's his name? Played by I forget that actor's name. He's in Sex Drive. I forget his name, but the actor who plays Brian, who plays the youngest son, he kind of tries to bond with him. Although I think the one that he bonds with the most and kind of has the most relationship is with Christina Applegate, and there kind of is like a love angle, like a dating kind of angle for them. They end up kind of falling for each other kind of down the line. As the holidays proceed and things get a little more and more out of control, as Drew's ex-girlfriend tries to, or kind of shows up later in the movie to kind of put a wrench in Drew and Christina Applegate's relationship. It kind of throws a wrench in their plans. But like I said, it's got enough good surprising moments, a couple tasteless scenes, but nothing too vulgar or anything. I think it's one of those ones you can watch with the kids. You know, as long as the kids are pretty well grown up. It's PG-13. It's got a couple kind of racy moments in it, but nothing, like I said, nothing too bad. There's a little bit of language kind of thrown here and there, but nothing too bad. But what did I think about it? What was my final verdict, guys? What was Biff's final verdict of the movie? Was it throw in the pink, one in the pink? Throw in the pink greatness? Or crap all over, guys? I enjoyed Surviving Christmas. It was a fun movie. I think I'd give it 2 in the pink, because I didn't really have a hard time watching it. It wasn't a bad movie, and I didn't really have any complaints. Like I said, it wasn't one of those that was theatrically well received. A lot of the critics didn't like it, but what the fuck the critics know anyway? The critics, they're gonna judge it. They're gonna judge certain aspects of the movie that they didn't like. Maybe they didn't like Ben Affleck. Maybe they didn't like the story. I mean, who the hell knows, guys? But for some reason, they didn't like the movie. I thought it was really funny. I thought Mike Mitchell did a good job directing it, and the fact that he's from Oklahoma and that it was a pretty good movie makes it even better for me, because I thought that he did a pretty good job, and he has a couple other funny films under his belt. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and a couple other kind of funny comedies and stuff like that he's done director-wise. So I thought he did a pretty good job with the material, and the writing's pretty decent in it. It's like I said, it's got a good amount of surprising moments and kind of stuff like that. Ben Affleck carries the movie pretty well as Drew in the lead, and he's likable enough to where you'll kind of overlook some of the flaws in the movie. Like I said, it's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems watching it. I had a good time. And it's one of those that you kind of feel good by the end of it. It kind of gives you a kind of an up feeling by the end of the movie, and you're glad you watched it. So I'd give it 2 in the pink. It was a good film. I enjoyed it. And if you've never seen it before, go ahead and check it out. It's Surviving Christmas from 2004. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Show Biff your support. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. We're going to try to do a couple more Christmas episodes on the way. I don't really know how many more, but I want to try to do at least 2 or 3 more before the year rounds out. I hope you guys are enjoying season 1. We're winding down season 1. We got a couple more episodes to go, but I hope you guys are liking it. Like I said, if you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Show Biff your support. I'll see you mooks later. And thanks for watching. This is the Incorrect Reviewer with Biff. Thanks for watching, guys.